Hello, friends, and welcome once again to Eddie's Rant and Rave. What I want to talk about now is the presidential campaign that's going on now. This is an election year, of course, and right now we got a bunch of candidates running, but I'm only going to talk about the ones that are still viable at this point. Now we are a day away from the Iowa caucus, and things could turn around. We could have maybe some dark horse. Maybe somebody who's trailing behind somebody like Jeb Bush or Rand Paul, who's doing so poorly that it's hardly a factor anymore. Ben Carson, of course, you could see that, but I doubt it. Right now, the race seems to have come down to Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, and on the GOP side, and on the other side, of course, Hillary and Bernie Sanders. I think Hillary has maybe a 3-point lead, which is within the margin of error, they're saying right now. So I'm going to focus on probably those 5 candidates, 2 on the side, on the Democratic side, and the 3 on. When I say 3, I mean Marco Rubio too, because Marco Rubio is still a viable candidate, I think, because he's I think he's in about the 13% margin, so he's like at least in double digits. I think he's the only one of the other ones running that is in the double digits, behind Trump and Ted Cruz. Now let's look at the candidates on the now. Even before we do that, let me state for the record, I am independent. Whoever gets my vote has to earn it. I don't vote by party. It won't be about race for me. It'll be about whose agenda I think lines up the most with mine. I think most basically, what most of us want is what most of the American electorate wants is people that whose goals are similar to theirs in office. That's what I want anyway. Um, I know too well the history of both parties for anyone to get my vote just because they're a Democrat or a Republican. So I'm a proud independent. Um, I won't get into detail about the parties and how I conceive the parties, or how I should say how I perceive the parties. Um, but anyway, let's look at the candidates on the Democratic side. We have Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. Now I'm going to mention here Martin O'Malley because it's sad, because Martin O'Malley, I guess, hasn't been able to rally the people to his side like you would think. I think O'Malley probably has some good ideas. I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention to him. I don't know whether he has any good ideas or not. But anyway, Bernie Sanders has some great ideas. But the thing about Bernie Sanders is that he's a self-proclaimed socialist, and there's such a terrible stigma attached to that word, socialist. And I'm not sure he's gonna be able to shake that, and like win in the general election if he does get the nomination. But I will say this, like as far as him being tagged a socialist, and he's proud to be called that, I guess. But if you look at the Democratic Party and their dealings, sort of their modus operandi since the time of Roosevelt. Basically, the goal of the Democratic Party has always been somewhat socialist. Right? To me, socialist just means concerned with social issues. Um, Stuff like making sure that there's enough in the Social Security for when our children, making sure that Social Security will be around when our children's children reach that age when they're eligible for it. Um, Income equality, women's rights, stuff like that. Those are all social issues to me, and but still, there's such a bad stigma attached to that term socialist that I don't know if Bernie can shake that and connect enough to win the general election should he get the nomination. Hillary Clinton. Huh. Now, Hillary's problem is all the stuff has been. Hillary's problem largely is Bill. You know, people hated the Clintons. People remember what the Clintons done and stuff. You know, like and I don't hate them, but I worked in textiles for a number of years, and I remember that NAFTA was what destroyed the textile industry. Was the nail in the textile industry's coffin, basically, and that happened under Bill Clinton. And also, as far as our connecting with African American voters, there's some of us that still remember that the campaign she ran against then Senator Barack Obama back in 2008. Some of the dirty tricks that were pulled. Now I can't prove it, but I swear I think they're the ones. Her and Bill are the ones that do that Jeremiah Wright BS. But that's neither here nor there at this point. But this thing with the emails, that's also makes it hard to trust. I just don't trust her. It would just depend on who she ran against. I haven't decided who I'm going to vote for, but when this thing first started, I said to begin with, I don't want to see another Bush or another Clinton in the White House. You know, because like basically the last 20 years, those have been the two families that have dominated presidential politics, and so Hillary, like I said, I just don't trust her. Like I said, because the same with these emails. She should have been forthcoming with that in the beginning. There's nothing to hide. She should have been forthcoming with everything. I mean, I'm sure that like they've had a witch hunt. The Republicans have had against her, but she should have been more forthcoming. You like she done a lot of stuff that looks like she's got something to hide. Just put it that way, okay? And usually, if it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, well, Now let's look on the GOP side. You've got Ted Cruz. This guy, like, he will connect with I think the Tea Partiers. He's more, I think, out of all the candidates, that he's probably like he'll be the one that can connect with the real conservatives in the party. He to me though, the guys like the town crier and stuff, like this guy is like just a lot of hot air to me. That's what he is to me and stuff. Now he's the central issue is like that as far as our gun rights and stuff, Second Amendment rights and stuff like that. He appeals to people who are worried about that, of course. Gonna take away our guns. He appeals to that crowd. But with him, there's the issue. The same issue that dogged Obama for much of his first term and sometimes even into his second term. The birther issue. We know for a fact that Ted Cruz was born in Canada, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. I guess because I don't know, maybe he's close enough to the right color. I don't know. But then again, like I'm looking also like, let's say Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio gets the nomination. Let's say they go on to win, become president. To me, that says that that shows how much America's changed, because America it shows that America white men are having trouble getting elected. That's what that shows me. Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio are both Hispanics. As much as Ted seems to have fooled himself, he's still not white. But I guess that's neither here nor there either. Now, let's move on to Donald Trump. Donald is great theater. He's great theater. He's funny. He's I guess you could say personable. He's run a hell of a campaign. So far he has ran a hell of a campaign. He's I think he just like basically I think they let him go too far, and no one thought, I don't think any of the GOP thought that at this point of the race that he would actually be taken seriously. But this guy ignites the crowd like no Republican I've seen in a long time. This guy has people fired up. He knows how to connect with voters, and I will make a prediction here. I think if Donald Trump wins in Iowa, especially, which is the most conservative place probably in the nation, if Donald Trump wins in Iowa, he will be the eventual nominee for the party. So, but now the guy that I kind of like on the Republican side, and he's in third place, is Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio's smart guy. I would, I would consider voting for him if it's not for the ugly comments he made about me, just the blatant disrespect that he's shown to our president. I mean, it's one thing to attack a man on issues, but some of the attacks that he's made have been personal. How he talked about how we've got a guy in the White House with no class and stuff like that. Well, that to me that shows that he's lacking in class to say something like that. I think that was in regards to he said some things in regards to President Obama inviting those YouTube superstars to the White House. What he should have been doing is trying to figure out a way to connect, because that the one thing that's great about President Obama, how he got elected twice, is this guy has found a way to connect with people, especially young people. So, but actually, like I said, Marco Rubio is very interesting and probably the most knowledgeable of all the candidates on the GOP side, probably. But I don't think I don't know if I would vote for him or not. It would just depend on who he ran. It would just depend. It depends on a lot of things. I may have changed my mind by that time. By the time the election rolls around, if he's the nominee, because the guy is smart. I think he does have a great future ahead in politics. I just think he needs some time. How he needs to learn what not to say. He is young and stuff. He's full of energy, and sometimes when you're full of energy, sometimes we don't always know how to direct that energy as young people. With age comes wisdom, hopefully. But I think he does have a great future, and if he doesn't win this time, I think I can see in the next 10 to 15 years, I can see Marco Rubio being president. I really can. So that's my take on the presidential candidates. Thank you for your time.